Welcome to my overview of the Miles Morales Ultimate Spider-Man Omnibus. Here on the front you have sort of title of the Omnibus, a review of it, and then down in the bottom the creators. If you want to pause it now, go ahead, and then those are the various creators that are on the front. Then we get round to on the spine of the book, it's sort of the usual where it's red at the top with Marvel Omnibus, then black down the bottom bit saying Miles Morales the Ultimate Spider-Man creators, and then a cool shot of Miles Morales at the bottom. We then have the back of the book that says a Spider-Man for the 21st century, an overview of what's in the book. If you want to pause the video now and give that a read, go ahead. Another review, you then have Miles Morales being engulfed by Venom. You have down here the price tag and just more of the general barcode. So for this, I think I spent £65 for this, so not too bad. Here are the issues that it collects. If you want to pause it here, go ahead. But it collects Ultimate Comics Spider-Man 1-28 and 16.1, Spider-Man 1-5, Cataclysm Ultimate Spider-Man 1-3, Ultimate Spider-Man 200, Miles Morales Spider-Man 1-12, and material from Ultimate Fallout number 4. So now let's get into what's actually shown on the cover underneath the book. On the cover of the book you have this awesome overspread of Green Goblin here, Miles Morales there, the fire engulfing the two, the Peter Parker or Aunt May's house in the background. But yeah, on this side you obviously have Green Goblin with his horns, the fire engulfing him, and then Miles Morales on this side. So it is a beautiful cover. Now we're going to go into some of the artwork, some of the storylines that I've read so far, and give my opinions on them. So the first one is like 1-5. So it's sort of dealing with artwork like this throughout the book. So basically it's Miles and his friend Kank. I can't actually pronounce it. I think it's Kank. I'm not 100% sure. Someone can. But it's basically him discovering his different powers, how he has the Venom blast, he can go invisible, and going into his more relationship with his mother, father, uncle, his friends, the school that he studies at, and basically him discovering that he can walk on wall, climb up. So first sort of 1-4 is him discovering the sort of moniker of Spider-Man, him going out in his own suit. Then you get into sort of him discovering the Ultimates. Then the artwork sort of changes throughout, sort of this style. It's sort of grown on me the more I'd seen it, but not really my favourite. Like, I did enjoy it during more of the family moment. But yeah, so that art continues on a bit, and then some of the story arcs throughout this. You have United We Stand, so this is when Miles Morales joins the Ultimate, so he gets caught in basically the war versus Hydra. So you have cool panels like this where all the heroes are taking on Hydra, and then Spider-Man following like Falcon. Him and Jessica Drew, War Machines. It's a cool storyline. Basically following where he stands. And yeah, it's a very fun story arc. Next we get into the crossover, which is Spider-Men. So this is where the 616 universe Spider-Man comes to the Ultimate universe. I enjoyed this. Basically, the whole premise of the story is Mysterio finds basically interdimensional portal between the 616 universe and the Ultimate universe, and he basically shoves Spider-Man through it, and then Spider-Man discovers that he's in a different universe. And then everyone, like, he discovers as he has everyone, oh, you're wearing the suit in distaste. what are you doing? It's an insult, as obviously in this universe Peter Parker's dead. He runs into Miles Morales and into the Ultimates of this universe, and also Aunt May. So there's sort of like the heart-to-heart behind it, obviously, as Superman. It's sort of like the same old supervillain heroes teaming up. But in the background you also have the whole thing of Aunt May finding out, and Gwen Stacy and Mary Jane, and them just basically comparing the differences, which is very heartwarming. We then go on to a storyline which is called Venom War, which is Miles Morales dealing with Venom. There's something that happens in this that leads to the next story that I'm going to talk about. I'm not going to spoil it. But this storyline is called Spider-Man No More. So you'll find out why this happens. So I'm going to try and flip through it. In this storyline you have Cloak and Dagger and Bombshell. Basically goes into their origins in this universe. And Miles still being reluctant to continue. And then him also dealing with, does he tell his girlfriend, does he not tell his girlfriend. But yeah, I really enjoyed this arc. Also, a lot of the arcs in this book I really enjoyed. Now, this story, it's part of an event, and it's sort of like a crossover into the event. I enjoyed parts of it, just because it is a tie-in to an event. You just get these 3 issues, and then at the end of it, it's like, oh, Spider-Man, we know a way how to take out Galactus. So you just sort of get 3 issues in a bit more character development, but then all in the end, it leads to basically just then later on in the book them talk about the aftermath. Oh, do you not remember Galactus coming down and blah blah blah, and we helped stop a giant man. Like, you could sort of leave this out, but I sort of enjoyed the inclusion, but at the same time you could have just left it out and the book still would have had purpose. Then you have this little neat heartwarming issue which is called Ultimate Spider-Man 200. It's basically where it's honouring like the anniversary of Peter Parker's death, and so all of them, they basically go over what they would have loved to see if Parker was still alive, or if he had grown up. So like, was it him going into technology and building and helping the police? Was it him having world peace? Was it Gwen Stacy, sort of them still being together? Basically Miles reminiscing on him being friends with the 616 universe Spider-Man, and then sort of what Kitty Pryde wanted out of it, what Mary Jane or Iceman wanted out of it. It's like a very cool and sweet issue. Then you get into what I'm currently reading, which is the basically where the numbering starts again. So as I showed you the issues that it had, so in it has 1 to 28 and then 1 to 12. So then this is it at the new issuing. I'm not going to flick through it too much, as it sort of goes into a plot point that I don't want to spoil for you guys. But yeah, so I haven't finished the book, but so far I've absolutely loved it to bits. Basically spoke about some of the issues, tried not to go into too much spoilers, but the artwork in this is beautiful. The character development is just great. The different characters that interplay with him and how he deals with it, and trying to get advice from people like Aunt May, Mary Jane, Gwen Stacy, and the different issues that go out that play him, like the rivalry between his uncle and his dad, some of the interplay that his dad has to deal with, him sort of making friends with Aunt May, Gwen Stacy and Mary Jane, and how they deal with the different things. It's just very enjoyable, and I've loved this omnibus so far. I'm sort of sad that I'm coming near the end of it, as I just want more and more. But yeah, that was sort of an overview of the different stories throughout it. If you do want to see more overviews like this, please tell me down below. Obviously it may be a bit longer until the next one, as with these sort of things I like to read the stories in them so I can give a more general breakdown of the different stories without spoiling it, but giving you a sort of idea of what's actually in the book itself. But yeah, thanks for watching guys, and see you in another video. Peace.